Andre Agassi is the #1 player in the USA today. A year ago, he was starting a meteoric rise that ended with him being ranked #3 in the world by year's end. He won the Tournament of Champions from Forest Hills a year ago, and this was his reaction after his win.
Well, first off, let's hear it for American tennis, huh?
He won the Tournament of Champions from Forest Hills. What an outstanding effort, and today he will play a national championship for over 50 years. And it is the Eagle Tournament of Champions presented by ICI. The weather has turned out to be a whole lot better than what we expected earlier today. Well, we thought we were going to be in serious trouble. This is only the quarterfinal round. Should have been semifinal day today. Hard true clay court, 70 degrees now. And the forecast is for scattered showers. But as we speak to you, things have improved a lot and the sun is out. At 8:20 this morning, this is how things looked, and at 5 o'clock there was a deluge. Now, it has not rained since 8:20, so the groundskeepers here at the Westside Tennis Club did an outstanding job, and it looks like we are going to see, well, I can guarantee you that we are going to see live tennis this afternoon. Good day to you, everyone. I'm Cliff Drysdale. Some interesting happenings. Ivan Lendl is still very much alive in this championship and playing well. Andre Agassi had a very tough match with youngster Jim Courier, but came through in 3 sets. Mats Wilander, what's happened to him? He is out this week to Cancellotti. Yannick Noah also surprised. Let's take a look at the top 8 seeds in this championship going into the event. Ivan Lendl, of course, seeded to win. Mats Wilander, as I said, out. Agassi will play today. Tim Mayotte out. Yannick Noah also out. Aaron Krickstein will play against Agassi in the match that you're about to see. Gilbert and Michael Chang of the USA still in. So this is how things look in the quarterfinal matches. Lendl will play Gilbert today. The match you'll see Agassi, Krickstein, then Izaga and Perez. Perez is from Spain. Izaga from Peru. Michael Chang of the USA will play Filippini, who has been a big surprise here in this championship. Let me introduce you to Arthur Ashe. And Andre Agassi has been a remarkable story. A year ago, Arthur, when we took a look at this man here, we predicted great things for him. It happened, but earlier on this year, things kind of turned sour for a while anyway.
You're right, for a while. The sophomore jinx, possibly, but I think starting at the Davis Cup against France in San Diego and last week at the AT&T Tennis Challenge, he is turning things around.
How about the man that he's playing against, Aaron Krickstein, today? In some respects, Arthur, he had a very similar beginning because he was kind of a prodigy at one point, and then with injuries and certain things in his career taking a southward leap, yes. He was in bad shape for a while, but then he came back.
Yes, he certainly was. I think he's riding the crest of some confidence right now, but this is a turnaround match for him. If he does well here, he'll feel very confident going to Europe.
Clay courts on this championship. Mike Adamley is on those clay courts now. He's going to get a close look at it. How's it look, Mike?
Well, Cliff, that we are even playing this quarterfinal match, as you mentioned, a tribute to head groundskeeper Jimmy Sheridan and his gang here. His father, Owen, longtime head man here at Forest Hill, some 25 years. You're an expert at this hard, true synthetic clay surface. How's it holding up? How's it shaping up at this point?
Very good. You saw what we had this morning at about 8 o'clock. We had to remove thousands of gallons of water off the court, and we're ready to play.
How close to ideal is it?
I would like to give it maybe 15 more minutes and it'll be in top shape.
Jimmy, job well done. Thank you very much. It should be noted, Arthur and Cliff, because of the heavy rains, the court still is kind of soft, and it would seem to me that might take some of the sting out of Andre Agassi's power game and perhaps give the edge to Aaron Krickstein, but that is your expertise. Gentlemen?
Thank you very much, Mike. Interesting thought. You may well be on the money. It is Agassi and Krickstein in the quarterfinals in a moment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
This is the Eagle Tournament of Champions live from the Forest Hills Tennis Stadium, Westside Tennis Club in Queens, New York. Andre Agassi is 19 years old, and last year he got to 7 Grand Prix singles finals. He won 6 tournaments, including the Tournament of Champions. And Arthur, he was also a semi-finalist at both the U.S. Open and the French Championships. And by the way, he didn't play at Wimbledon.
No, and it looks like he may not play at Wimbledon again this year. Right now, that's the current latest information about Agassi and Wimbledon.
Grosse Pointe, Michigan, Aaron Krickstein, 21 years old. He seems like he's been around for a long time.
He
has
sure
because
does.
he started so young.
Right.
Jerry Armstrong.
Seats quickly, please. First set, Krickstein to serve.
England. East Dean, England.
Five,
in fact.
please.
And he will monitor events down there courtside. He's the chair umpire. Krickstein, first point, quarterfinal match, best of 3 sets, first ball.
love 15.
Krickstein won his first pro title since 1984 earlier this year, first tournament that he played in Sydney, Australia.
Well, Krickstein hesitated on that
Love 14.
approach shot. He really should have moved right on through it. He didn't. He stopped, and the ball stood straight up because it had so much underspin.
Triple break point for Agassi, first game of the match. Shades of just a week ago at the AT&T Challenge in Atlanta. He played so well, just devastating. Broken in the first game. Krickstein has yet to win a point in this match. Agassi will serve his first serve game of the match. He has a break, 1 game to love in this best of 3 set quarterfinal match, Eagle Tournament of Champions. These two have played each other twice before in official competition.
Aaron could have gotten to that ball.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't go for it.
Series is tied at 1 apiece. The Lipton in 5 sets. Krickstein won it, and then Agassi, as you see, beat him here last year. That's the first ace of the match.
6 straight points.
Extraordinary.
A little bit of luck in that backhand drop shot from just about over the baseline, but still 7th point in a row for Agassi.
Game point for 2 love. First set.
Yeah.
8 straight, and Agassi leads it by 2 games to love. The tournament that was played last week in Atlanta at the Horseshoe Bend Country Club AT&T Challenge, they played against each other in the round robin competition, and Agassi beat Krickstein 6-3, 6 love, but that was not part of the Grand Prix of tennis exhibition event. Krickstein opens his score. 1 point. First point of the match, 15 love.
I need to watch it just a couple more points before I say anything about strategy. I'm not sure what's happening out there yet.
You know, my first reaction is that as wet as it was this morning, the court is
fast.
Yeah, it looked quick. I mean, you'd expect under very wet conditions and heavy conditions for the ball to be bouncing a little lower than it looks to be bouncing now. course, the sun is out and it dries these clay courts very quickly. In fact, when you boil it down, really the conditions are about as good as they could be for playing tennis because the temperature is perfect, not much wind, and the court is great.
Yes, first.
So Aaron Krickstein wins his first game, 2-1. Eagle Tournament of Champions presented by ICI will continue after this message and a word from our local stations.
From atop the service line.
Agassi won the first point, 15 love, and leads it by 2 games to 1 in the first set. He has a break. Over $600,000 total, 82 for the winner, and then change. Runner-up will make 41,000, and some semi-finalists, 21, they have already picked up nearly $12,000 apiece. 30 love. Krickstein has been injured off and on after the tournament at the Lipton this year, in which he played well. He was again injured, played a couple of 5-set matches down there, and he's a good 5-set match player. Elbow hurting again. But he's recovered now. I asked him yesterday, he said he's fine.
Everything?
Yep.
Well, talking about 5-set matches, that is the one major question mark that everyone has about Agassi. He has never won a 5-set match in Grand Prix competition. He's 0-2. And in one of them, he actually had to default in the 5th set.
That was against Krickstein, the Lipton.
Ooh, that looked good from here. Out. Yep. As Agassi circles the mark back there, it was out. Now he's going to rub it out. Watch this ball. Looks on camera like it may have creased the line, but didn't.
No, that'll go long.
Oh, just a bit too much or not enough topspin.
He's aware of his physical problems, the stamina that you talked about, hired a strength coach that he took to the tournament last week, Arthur, so he's working on it, and it'll be interesting to see. I think he's going to turn that around. So it takes a lot out of him the way he plays, Agassi. But on the other hand, the points when he plays don't last that long because he hits the ball so hard.
Well, this match is being played at different parts of the court for each player. Krickstein is about a yard and a half behind the baseline, and Agassi is actually most of the time on or inside the baseline. Big strategic advantage for him. He hits the ball on the rise better than probably anybody I've ever seen. Except for that one, maybe. Yeah.
30 all, 3 games to 1, Agassi. dad taught him when he was just a kid. Told him to hit the ball as hard as he could and never go behind the baseline. And the result is what you see, and it's terrific. He reminds me in a way, the way that he plays, and when you talk about position, of a squash player, the guy who's able to control the court by standing right there in the center of the court,
right.
you know, and you have to run around him all the time. He's, in a way, the tennis equivalent of that. Game point.
You're right, and as a result, he controls most points. Even though he may lose them, he's still controlling them.
Gonna go check the mark. And he's happy. And now break point for Agassi for his second break. In the first set, he already has 3 games to 1. Vis-a-vis what you're talking about as far as Agassi's hitting ball hard is concerned. Tanner practiced with him last week, Roscoe, and he said, you know, you play against him, you have to guess.
That's right.
Like that. It's not like you can play against Agassi and watch him hit the ball and then try to make up your mind where you're going to go.
You're right, as we see him come into the forecourt, but he'd won the point already. I think we're going to get one of our assistants here to count the number of times he hits forehands and backhands. Get a little... some proportionality here. First ace from Aaron Krickstein. We're watching a replay of Krickstein serve right down the middle, just to the right of the crosshairs.
Third deuce. Just wide. You know, the thing that has improved in Krickstein's game of late anyway is his first serve. Bobby Banks, who's his coach, was saying that they've been working on it and that it really has improved this week especially. And
in 1 week?
Yeah, well, you know, your serve goes up and down sometimes.
Yeah, oh, sure.
He said he's serving well this week.
Yes. The best place, I believe, for Krickstein to come to the net on Agassi is cross-court, short to Agassi's backhand. Hitting the ball deep with Krickstein's relative inexperience at the net, I think, is not a good idea.
Problem with even serving the big serve to Agassi, I've seen him play and so have you so many people, and he's not impressed by the big serve.
No, it doesn't matter at all. He guesses right, and he puts so much topspin on the return. His timing is so good.
Break point. And there it is, the second break. It is 4 games to 1. We'll return after this word from your ABC stations. Andre Agassi has not lost a point on his serve yet until the point that was just played. It is love 15. 4 games to 1 Agassi first set. Guys are not wasting any time. They're really getting on with it. It rained all day yesterday, so the quarterfinals had to be played today. It was supposed to be semi-final day today. I think the players are just eager to get on with it.
Right. Well, we all thought, as Mike Adamley said in the opening, that the slower courts may give Krickstein a better chance, but so far it really doesn't matter. And this court, as you said earlier, Cliff, is drying out very quickly.
Yeah, I just don't think it's playing very slowly like we expected it. Game point for Agassi. Arthur, after all that was said about Agassi and some of the bad publicity that he got earlier this year, and he wasn't playing that well. He lost in the Lipton a lot earlier than he expected, for example. Things have turned around for him.
From what I've seen, Cliff, so far, Aaron doesn't seem to want to change his game at all. A couple things he could do. One is serve and volley every once in a while. We probably know in past experience he's not going to do that. And secondly, he needs to take some of those short balls and just come in. But he's only done that 3 times.
Check their records on clay in the Grand Prix. Agassi, take a look at that. 29-3 in 1988. This year he hasn't lost a match. Krickstein hasn't lost a match on clay. 12-7 last year. He has the second best percentage after Lendl, Agassi.
But not as many matches as last year. Yeah, so
that's true.
We'll see.
Well, that was comparing him to Lendl last year.
Right.
And so he was the number 2 player on clay. And when we talked to him earlier, he said that clay is his best surface. And that's interesting, because when he started out in Rome 3 years ago, he said, I can't play on this stuff.
Whoa, that was as deftly a placed backhand drop shot as you'll ever want to see on a clay court. Now watch his racket hit. You see it comes all the way up past his right shoulder.
Set point. And he needed only 1 of 3 that he would have had, and Andre Agassi has broken again. 6 games to 1. First set for Agassi over Krickstein in this quarterfinal match. First point, second set, Agassi. Listen to this, has lost only 1 point on serve in the first set. So that's the second point that he's lost on serve.
You're right. Well, I would still like to see, as we look at the first set stats, first serve percentage, Agassi is playing well within himself. He's just not stretching at all right now. Not being challenged, so he's not doing anything that he wouldn't do in practice.
He has broken 3 times. He's had 5 chances to break. Aaron hasn't had a break point yet, not even close. It is a devastating display. You know, you watch a match like this, it's been very one-sided so far. When that happens, watch these guys carefully, because Agassi is just extraordinary.
All right, Aaron. He won a point at the net.
First game, second set, 30-all.
40-30.
At one point last year, Andre Agassi was 15-0 on clay, streak that was broken at Rome when Agenor of Haiti beat him in the quarterfinals, and then he got to the semifinals at the French Open.
All right, that may right there be a record. Krickstein winning 2 of the last 3 points at the net. If he'd only do that a bit more.
Deuce, first game, second set.
Krickstein moving to his right. Lunges at it, slides, can't quite recover as fast as he'd like. Now to his backhand side, always in the defense.
That was Krickstein's first chance to break serve. As we said, he only won 1 point on Agassi's serve in the first set. But it's deuce. And another break point for him. That 15-0 record, by the way, was compiled partly because of what he did here last year, winning the Tournament of Champions over Ziva Yunovic in the final.
Just long.
So Aaron Krickstein has started out by winning the first game of the second set. Andre Agassi and Aaron Krickstein playing in the quarterfinal of the Tournament of Champions here from the West Side Tennis Club, Forest Hills, New York. Agassi won the first set, 6-1. Krickstein has broken Agassi in the first game of the second set. Agassi has, well, we told you he won 6 tournaments last year. 1984 was Aaron Krickstein's best year. He won in Boston, which was on clay, very similar surface to this, and Geneva, played on European clay at that time. And he was a finalist in Rome, also played on European clay, and Washington, which was on this hard, true, fast, dry type surface. At that time, it is now, of course, played on hard courts. Krickstein to serve, 1 game to love, second set, best of 3.
He doesn't temporize when he feels that his game is temporarily off. He's just going to go for it no matter what. Agassi we're talking about.
He only knows one speed, doesn't he?
Just 4th gear, overdrive.
Firing on all 12 cylinders all the time.
Right. I must say, maybe Krickstein's coach has gotten him to come to the net a bit more, so it's starting to show. Second ace from Aaron Krickstein.
And second game of the second set. He won only one game in the first set and made no impression at all on Agassi, especially on Agassi's serve. He only won 1 point, but that has changed. He leads it now 2 games to love.
Now, classic theory, being up 2 games to love rather in a set, would be you try to put as much pressure on your opponent as possible, even taking some chances you may not normally take. Let's see if Aaron does that in this game when he's receiving serve. And by that I mean basically coming to the net a bit more.
At the Grand Prix tournament in Munich this week, cloudy skies, mid-40s.
As we take another look at Krickstein's ace in that last point in the last game.
In Munich, Martin Strelber of Czechoslovakia beat Stefan Edberg, got to his first Grand Prix final. He beat him 3-3 in the semi-final. And in the other semi-final, Andrei Chesnikov of the Soviet Union beat Alexander Volkov, also of the Soviet Union, to get to his second final of the year. Here at the Tournament of Champions, Agassi serving with new balls, down 2 games to love.
Ooh, that was good. Correction. That would be a discretionary call by the umpire, since the umpire overruled. Actually, the linesperson actually corrected her call, so it's correct as it stands.
Yep.
Oh, caught him looking.
Kind of like, in terms of timing, watching Steffi Graf play. She wastes no time at all between points. Agassi is exactly the same, 30-15.
We sometimes wonder how Agassi, weighing 145, gets as much power as he does on the serve. Take a look at his left foot. It's almost pointed a little bit away from the baseline, and then he torques so much into the serve, about 180 degrees at right shoulder.
40-30. Talking about Andrei Chesnikov of the Soviet Union, by the way, he's been talking all week in Germany about his problems with the Soviet Tennis Federation. He says that players get $800 if they reach a semi-final, but nothing if they don't get to at least the semi-final. And you may remember reading about Zvereva, Natalia Zvereva, also a Russian, or rather Soviet.
Telling you about earlier
Yep.
in the first set, Cliff. That's the best place to come to the net on Andre Agassi, I think. Short cross court to his backhand. If you watch that again, Aaron is just going to try a drop volley, which he doesn't try too often, but he got away with it that time.
It's deuce. Zvereva said that she wanted to keep her money that she made.
Sent the check to Pro Serve.
Right, and Chesnikov apparently did the same thing after Nice, which he won.
Right.
So there's an ongoing problem. Chesnikov says that if they stick together,
they'll
if we
win.
all cry out for change, maybe something will happen. It's an interesting ongoing story, playing
Yes,
as
it is.
professionals on the tennis tour and not getting the money. Agassi holds on to serve, not without some difficulty, though. 2-1. Krickstein leads in the second set. Krickstein serving with a break in the second set, 2-1. There was an interesting delay for just a moment, though, because in between points, Andre Agassi, as you can see, asked Todd Snyder, who is the ATP trainer, to come to the court, and he attended to him. And we're going to try to find out what the problem is.
My guess, based on the exercises Todd was asking Agassi to perform, I would think spasms in the lower back.
Okay.
We'll just see what happens.
Love 30. Just wide. 15-30. Chance for Agassi to get back on serve here in the second set. Remember, Agassi won the first set easily, 6-1. Krickstein serving 15-30, ahead 2-1 in the second.
Third ace from Aaron Krickstein. Clip, I've noticed a small change in Aaron Krickstein's serve. He's facing the net a bit more now as we watch a slow-mo of that. It used to be that he was a bit more sideways, turned away from the net to serve, but now he's a bit more frontal.
And he is getting a little more juice on it.
Yes.
The first serve.
Yes. And usually it's the other way around.
And he's come back in this game from love 30 to game point. Krickstein is going over to check the mark.
He wants to have someone look at it again.
And Jerry Armstrong bows to that request, so the lines person will go to check the mark.
No, that's wrong mark. The mark is about 2 feet in front of where she's looking.
Right. Now, Jerry Armstrong going to get out of the chair, and he'll point to the right one. And he'll say it's good.
That's exactly where the mark was. Good for Jerry.
Yeah.
Get it over with real fast.
It is a problem with the lines, folks, in some respect, isn't it? Although, watch it again.
Yes, because you're looking at it almost at ground level,
Yeah.
and your depth perception is not very good.
Well, the guy in the chair has a better look at that, and he
Much
should
better.
get out and do it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to see it. Deuce. Aaron Krickstein with game point, and now Agassi has got a problem with his hand, maybe.
Yes, it says last point again. Slowed down a bit. Open stance. Disgust on his face. Points his finger. Give me that towel.
That was game point for Krickstein. That forehand of his just long. Back to deuce. It's going to be a big game when we look back on the history of this match, I think. It's deuce.
Well, that looks like a Krickstein forehand from a few years ago when, remember, he played that match in the U.S. Open against Elliot Telcher on the grandstand court. Everybody raved about his terrific forehand. Let's look at that again. And then boom, right across court.
Yeah, last week he said that he felt that his forehand, when he was hitting it well, was just as good as Agassi's and as hard. Execute the shot.
That's a good play from Krickstein. I think completely unexpected as far as Agassi's concerned. He thought Krickstein was just going to hit your standard boilerplate backhand down the line approach shot, but no, he came up short with a drop shot and won the point. Good thing he did. He didn't move too well to his right that time.
A couple of fans, when he walked on the court, said, "Happy birthday, Andre." His birthday last week.
Gave him a big party down in Atlanta on court. A group of girls just baked for him a huge cake, brought it out there for him.
Huge is right.
Right, huge cake.
He could be eating that thing into the 1990s. Actually, it was a local confectioner who put the thing together. 30 love. 1-3 second set, first set to Agassi. Agassi holds on, but he's still a breaker serve down. 3-2 in the second set.
1-1. Please move your car.
There's a great crowd here at the Westside Tennis Club, the Forest Hills Tennis Stadium. I'm surprised that so many came out because, believe me, at 8:30 this morning, I don't think any New Yorker would have guessed that we'd been playing tennis here this afternoon. But the weather has turned around. But Andre Agassi, on the other hand, as you see, is still being attended to by Todd Snyder, the ATP trainer. So clearly he has some problem. And we're going to check on it.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
It is 3-2. Krickstein ahead in the second set. Mike Adamley's at courtside, and he's been talking to Todd Snyder. How about it, Mike?
Well, Cliff, I'm with Todd Snyder right now. You've been watching Andre's condition. How's he feeling?
It seems like he's overexerted one of the muscles in his lower back, maybe through a strange movement of some kind, and it seems to be responding to just gentle stretching exercises, so that's normally an indication it's not so severe.
Small blister on his hand as well?
Yeah, he developed a small blister on his hand, and it burst on him, and he seems to be willing to play with it as it is rather than worry about putting a bandage or anything on the grip.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, great approach shot. Mike, did he say lower back? He was talking kind of low, and I didn't get it. Did he say lower back problems?
Yeah, lower back spasms, Cliff.
Thanks, Mike. That's what you suspected, Arthur.
Yes, well, I was just guessing based on the rehabilitation exercises he was having Agassi to do. That's classic exercises to stretch the lower back. Happens all the time.
30-all.
Next. Present.
Oh, that's a good serve.
You know, that serve has made a difference
Yes,
today.
and he is facing the net much more than I've ever seen him before, because he normally started with his body facing sideways. If we watch him again, look how short that follow through is. It's all shouldered. The racket doesn't wrap around his body much at all.
And another winning serve from Aaron Krickstein wins him the 6th game of the 2nd set. He's ahead 4 games to 2. He lost the first set 6 games to 1.
We're going to try to bring you a bit better view of the follow-throughs for both players on their serve a little later. Quite a difference.
Oh, that's a great volley. He did well to keep himself in that for so long.
Yes, he did. Aaron has to learn how to fake a little bit more at the net. He's not that adept at playing at the net, but at least when you are at point-blank range from your opponent like that, you got to make him guess first. Well, he's holding on to this break right now.
Yes. 15 all. 2-4. Eagle Tournament of Champions from the Forest Hills Tennis Stadium. And Westside Tennis Club. It is Andre Agassi that you're watching playing Aaron Krickstein. Agassi won the first set 6-1. Krickstein leads at 4-2 in the second. Agassi serving. I'm Cliff Drysdale along with Arthur Ashe. Mike Adamley is at courtside. And Krickstein has 2 break points. My goodness, things have turned around for Aaron Krickstein, haven't they? 5 games to 2, 2 serve breaks. We'll be back. Live picture of Nick Bollettieri in the bright yellow shirt.
Coach to both players.
Well, he was at one time. I don't think he's in Krickstein's camp anymore, but certainly he is working very closely with Andre Agassi, who is in trouble in the second set. Very love, 2 points away for Aaron Krickstein. Krickstein's working with Bobby Banks now. Four aces for Krickstein.
Well, that's one of those no-brainers. Agassi could have gotten to that ball. I don't know why you'd stick his racket out.
Well, the first serve of Krickstein that I said earlier might not be that big of a factor because Agassi, who turns serve so well, has been a factor here in the second set. He's won it behind 2 serve breaks and we're at 1 set all.
Now, you know, Cliff, I think Agassi may have wanted to lose that game deliberately.
To start serving?
Right. He's done it before now.
Yep.
And he's been asked about it, and he defends his right to do it, although sometimes he got in trouble for it from critics and the crowd. But he'll start this set with his serve. And down 1 point, first game.
This match takes on a very different complexion, doesn't it? First game, third
He's
set.
now, excuse me, Cliff, going back to where he started serving in the backhand court in the first set. Wide, over by the double sideline.
First game, love 30. I remind you that Krickstein has said that he feels that he's got a good forehand too. Krickstein's career at the Tournament of Champions, he lost to Connors in '84, then Lendl, and Lendl in subsequent 2 years, and last year to Agassi in the semis. has 3 break points. First game of the third set. Now, Krickstein beat Gomez, who was the holder here last year before he played Agassi in the semis. And remember, it was Krickstein who beat Edberg at the US Open last year, too. Well, a rather tame effort at trying to win that point, and Agassi is trailing in the third set. Krickstein serving at 1 game to love. He leads in the third. And there's some question about that call.
Look good from here. I think it's going to stand. 15 love. That was good.
I mean, Jerry Armstrong calls it in the chair. You know that he's going to stay with that. So he backed up his linesperson, who was calling that through the net.
I get the feeling, just looking at Agassi's demeanor, that he's not going to win this match. His body language, to me, says he's got to radically change his outlook here. He's not going for some balls he can definitely get his racket on.
40 love.
Certainly doesn't look as though his back is hurting him that much. He's torquing fairly well on his forehand, meaning he's really spinning into it. That's the only way he can hit it hard at 145 pounds.
Arthur, I'm going to cautiously disagree with you. Very cautiously.
Well, we'll see. You know,
I think he can come back.
He may have just had a lapse of 3 games, but he didn't look like he was really wanted to play there for a while.
Game point, Krickstein. 40-30 now.
As I look at that again, Krickstein brought him in on a drop shot, and he waited until the last minute, flicked it cross court for a winner. Timing was impeccable there.
And Krickstein holds on, but I'll tell you, Agassi is right below us now, and he is hurting. There's no question in my mind that something is the problem with him. We talked about the lower back. Mike Adamley down there earlier talking to Todd Snyder, who says that he has some pain in his lower back. 2-0. In the third set, 1 set all. This is a crisis game for Agassi. He cannot afford to get...
He must win this game.
Really. As well as Krickstein is serving now.
Yes, definitely serving better. Hitting the ball deeper as well. We mentioned in the first set early, Cliff, that Agassi was playing, basically straddling the baseline. Krickstein was about 1.5 yards back. Now it's a little different. Okay, let's see.
The winner of this match will play the winner of the Lendl-Gilbert match, which will be played later today. Brad Gilbert beat Zivijinovic, who played the final here last year against Agassi.
That was long.
And Lendl hasn't been tested yet. Agassi has won his first game of the third set. It is 2-1 for Krickstein. That's a live picture of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center downtown Manhattan, New York. And this is the West Side Tennis Club, Forest Hills, New York. Krickstein serving ahead 2-1 in a surprise in the third set.
That's what you don't want to do if you're up a break in the third set against Agassi. Yeah.
12-15.
So watch this shot of Agassi being pulled way wide, and he sort of halfway grabs at his lower back with his left hand. We think that may be a significant problem.
Yes, Vince.
I think he's being very patient today.
Yes.
Krickstein, his first serve is a little
Yes,
better.
but much better now than first set,
Yeah.
I think. And it's absolutely crucial, I think, in this game. He didn't get his first serve in the first point. He lost it. He got his first serve in the second point, and he won it. Ooh, that looked... That's Haig to Fink, going over to check the mark. Out.
15-20.
There are just so many possibilities, Cliff, when you get your first serve in, even on clay. You have so many more options, like there.
And a big point it was, too.
Huge point. Krickstein's almost got to win this game.
It's 30-all.
Krickstein was backing up further and further. I must add also that during that change of ends after that last odd game, Agassi changed rackets. I think he got a racket that had strings with a bit looser tension.
Break point. Look at that.
Whoa!
Billy, when he cranks up in that forehand, which he does a lot,
Yes.
it's every bit as hard as Agassi.
Well, he anticipated that shot. He was moving to his right before he even hit the ball. You see, he just floated on over there. It looked rather easy, but if he had not anticipated it, he would have had to really run for it.
It's deuce.
Duel in the sun.
And another break point. You know, I had a great pleasure and honor to play with some of the Grand Masters here this week. Played a doubles exhibition. Guys like Mel Anderson, Roy Emerson, Fred Stolle. They looked at these fellas playing in the last couple of days. They hit the ball so much harder than we used to. They said.
Well, they've got bigger rackets, too. Grips are different.
Break point. Back to deuce. What a big point. But not to forget Roy, at least Roy Emerson was here, not to forget Rod Laver and Ken Rosewall, who were also part of this tournament.
I think you give Laver one of those big rackets, he wouldn't have been second to anybody out here.
Deuce. off that shot.
And Krickstein should have been covering that shot. As we watch when he comes to the net. Just going back and forth right now, but he hit that backhand very crisply down the line for a winner.
It's his third break point of the game. That is long. Again, the first serve.
Crucial.
Aaron Krickstein.
Crucial.
So important.
I'm not sure what his percentage of points won would be when he gets his first serve in, but it's got to be awfully high.
That's amazing. Incredible stuff. This is his 9th chance to break serve. Andre Agassi, his 4th of this game. He's broken serve 3 times in the match.
You're watching. Watch the torque. Whoa! Is that a quick spin or what? That's how he gets so much power weighing only 145 pounds. Just given John Gibbs the first serve winning percentage, 61% for Krickstein when he gets his first serve in.
And again, the first serve in, and Agassi returns it long. We're back to deuce.
But what I don't understand, Cliff, is why Agassi wouldn't take a couple steps back when he's up and ad, just to give himself another half a second.
It's not his game.
No, but
I just don't think
maybe
you'll ever
he'd
see
better
him do it.
maybe he'd better make it his game.
Well, not as long as his dad has anything to do with it. Also, I talked to him out there during the Davis Cup. He said, that's where I want my boy, right on the baseline, not behind it.
Well, there's a time to retreat a little bit.
That is long. The ball is flying just a little bit on Agassi now.
Now let's see where he
Krickstein's
stands on
on
this.
break.
Sorry,
Game point.
Yeah, let's see if he straddles the baseline again. By now, he should have you've just got a change as we look at Nick Bollettieri up here sitting in the east stands next to Bill Shelton on his left. Bill Shelton says Agassi's agent. Whoa, double fault. Second double fault from Krickstein. What a time for a double fault.
What indeed.
But more than that, it shatters your confidence.
Remember, Agassi's
We're liable to see another double fault.
deuce. Agassi's had 4 break points in this game. It's deuce number 5. That's long. Turned into a great match, this. Aaron Krickstein blown out in the first set 6-1. Then came back and won the second 6-2. The last time they played was just a week ago at the AT&T Challenge in Atlanta. That won easily by Agassi. But Krickstein was coming off a layoff of a couple of weeks. He's feeling a lot better this week. Andre Agassi has broken back. It is 2 games all now in the third set. He had 5 looks at a break point before he finally converted one. And that changes things.
It changes things significantly. Agassi certainly doesn't look as though his back is hurting him that much.
Please, thank you. Seats behind the court, please. Lodge anchor. Thank you. Next, person.
Krickstein's got to get himself together now mentally, regroup.
Love 15.
I see Aaron sneaking looks at his coach in between points.
That's long.
Cliff, you remember when Becker first came on the scene, we had the controversy over hand signals from coaches.
Yeah.
We haven't even heard about that in a year and a half. It's never come up.
We haven't, did we?
No.
Yeah, that is long.
That's going to be challenged. But that looked quite long from here, although may get the baselines person come up and take a peek. Out.
Yeah. And I think she has the right mark.
Yes.
And I think Jerry Armstrong agrees with it.
Yes. I don't think Agassi has a prayer of winning this argument.
That was Joyce Lowitz, who got out of her chair to check the mark for the chair umpire, Jerry Armstrong. 15:40, 2 break points.
Good serve.
30-40.
Back serving wide again, over by the, whoop, no, he changed his mind. Well, again.
Oh,
Yes, he had great success with standing over very wide, Cliff, in the beginning of the first set. Switched in the second set. Now he is, looks like he's undecided. Not sure what he wants to do when he steps up to the baseline. Certainly has affected that when he gets the first one in.
2 big points, weren't they? Back to
Huge.
deuce. Just long. Andre Agassi changed rackets earlier this year and changed from a Prince to the Donne that he's using now. He was not happy with it for a while. Then they came up with the racket that pleased him. The ball has flown on him just a little bit today,
Yes.
and I wonder whether he's thinking about the racket at all.
Well, he's changed rackets today once, and
Yeah.
my guess is he changed from one with tighter strings to one with looser strings.
Oh, that will make it fly some on you. Game point Agassi. And Andre Agassi was in a lot of trouble but hangs on. The Eagle Tournament Champion presented by ICI will return after this. There's Billie Jean King enjoying the match along with you and us and this nearly full house now at the Westside Tennis Club, Forest Hills, New York. Aaron Krickstein trailing now on serve, though 3-2, second set. I should say third set, 1 set all.
But more importantly, he's lost 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Settling back now into a pattern that we saw in the first set. At the beginning of that set, Krickstein, 1.5 yards, 2 yards behind the baseline, hitting his balls basically around the service line on the other side of the net.
He got there, but not in enough time to do anything with it. 15 all.
15 all.
That's the third time this match that we've seen Krickstein reply to a drop shot to him with a drop shot like this. Won the point.
32-15.
Cliff, I've only seen two other guys return serve like Agassi, like Pancho Segura and Ken Rosewall. Can hit the ball in the rise with that much authority, that much timing. It's incredible.
That early.
Incredible. It is
amazing.
It's very difficult to do, folks. Let me tell you, it's not easy.
And break point for Agassi. His third double fault of this match. And boy, have they hurt him. Remember the last one? Got Agassi back to deuce. And then he broke.
Yes, that was long.
4 in a row for Andre Agassi. It is 4 games to 2 in the third set.
I see Krickstein's confidence more than anything else now starting to ebb. And the key game, of course, was when Agassi was serving at down 1 break, and he held on. Made all the difference.
Oh, that's terrific stuff.
Volley.
You're watching the Tournament of Champions, the Eagle Tournament of Champions, live from the West Side Tennis Club in New York. Mike Adamley's at courtside. I'm Cliff Dreisler with Arthur Ashe. Jimmy. I should say Andre Agassi playing Aaron Krickstein.
He's rolling now.
Second ace.
So watch Agassi again, wind up. Boom, look where the right hand ends up. The racket face ends up under his left armpit. Now you wonder why Krickstein didn't do that a few times earlier today.
32-15.
It's a good play.
That's called wide, and Agassi doesn't like it.
I think he's going to lose that argument also.
See if he requests the line person to go check it.
The big mark is the one that's there. It looks wide from there.
Yeah.
Big one, yeah.
Jerry Armstrong's right. He says it's the big mark, and you can see it clearly.
Well, the other thing is that it takes away the rhythm, natural rhythm of the first and second serve distance, so he might double fault. Hits the ball harder. He hit it. He hit it harder.
40-15.
That was a second serve, and Agassi is ahead 40-15.
I guess we've got to write a new book of strategy for Andre Agassi. Orthodoxy be damned. He's just not going to read those old books on tennis strategy.
He's going to dance with who brung him.
Just wide. Wide.
And it is called wide, and Agassi holds on to serve. So when we come back, Krickstein is going to serve to try to stay in this match. Quarterfinal of the Tournament of Champions. We are 1 round behind in this championship because of a full day's rain yesterday. The doubles matches were played indoors, and they're in the semi-final stages of the doubles. Other matches that will be played today, Ivan Lendl will play Brad Gilbert. Izaga of Peru will play Perez of Spain, and Michael Chang of the USA in the bottom section of the draw will play Philippi, who beat Cancellotti, who was the man who beat Mats Wilander. And talking about Mats Wilander, although what the heck has happened to this guy? He was one of the great guys in the sport. He was #1 player in the world, US Open. He won 3 Grand Slams last year, and now he can't win a match.
Well, you know, intermittently in his career, he has been like that. He said early on he didn't want to be #1 at all, very early. Didn't want to succumb to the same pressure that Bjorn Borg succumbed to. But anyway, look at the Wielander's record. First at the end, as you said, after the U.S. Open last year, 3 of the 4 Grand Slams, but now just temporarily in a slump.
He's lost to Krickstein, he's lost to Horst Skroff, to Antonich, and to Mancini twice. Now, those are all fine players,
Right.
but they're not the players who should beat Mats Wielander. By the way, last year, as well as he did lose to people like Jay Berger, Claudio Pistolesi, Adjunor of Haiti, and Horacio de la Peña. Also good players, but guys you wouldn't expect to lose.
That was out, but his whole career has been like that, Cliff. Every once in a while, he just has a patch where he just loses to